I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, man. And I'ma tell him why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Mad Man, here with my guys,
the Maniac,
and of course,
Kinetic.
I like it. Hey,
I do it now. I got people mad at me because I didn't do it last week. So
yeah, you got to do that every week, or it's not real. Bad news. Let's start with the bad news first, ladies and gentlemen. You read that. You read the description. You saw the thumbnail. Jamar Browder is supposed to be with us tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like we've been stood up. I'm sure it's no big deal because we got an even better backup plan. The backup plan is in the description as well. Your friend, my friend, Johnny Olden Jr. will be joining us. But before we do that, Michigan played a football game last week. 20-15 loss to the number 8 team, I believe, in the country this week. Yeah. The Indiana Hoosiers. I know that don't even sound right. Indiana Hoosiers, number 8 in football, sounds disgusting. But I can say Kirk Cignetti's done an amazing job there with the resources that he's had, and they're playing very good football. That said, Michigan had their chances in this one. Let's get to it, though. The good, the bad, the ugly. From Michigan's week, what is that, 10, 11 loss? Week 10, right?
Yeah.
11. Week 11. Loss to the Indiana Hoosiers. Let's start with you, Maniac. What was the good?
So the good was the defense, right? At one point, it looked like it was going to get ugly, right?
Number 5. Sorry.
Wow. Now, I believe now they're number 5.
Yeah.
We saw that, I believe, Indiana's second drive, they took it right down. Zeke Berry got cooked again, right? It looked like he's becoming the Denzel Burke of Michigan, right? and then same thing with my other man, Hill, Jahari Hill. He got hit with that double move, bing bang bing. It was bad. And Mason Graham almost got home on that play. But anyway, after that touchdown, Michigan locked in, man. And you're talking about an offense that hasn't scored less than 30 points, who is averaging about 42-ish, 43-ish a game on the road, right? And listen, man, the only reason that game was close because of the defense.
Right.
So that was the good, man. I guess Wink and the defense was the good of that fight. I mean, fight of the game. The bad.
Right.
The bad was losing again. Mm-hmm. Losing a game. It was bad because it was a winnable game. That was the bad. Winnable game. Should have pulled that off. Right? The ugly. The offense. The offensive coordinator, the offensive scheme, ugly, ferocious, atrocious, Medusa ugly, Sam Cassell ugly, Shabba Ranks and his twin brother ugly. How you on the 5-yard line 2 times and come away with 6 points?
Right.
Come on, man. It's embarrassing already, man. That's embarrassing.
No doubt. Absolutely. I don't agree with any of your picks, by the way. Dot again says it's Jair.
Jair. Thank you. Not for
no doubt.
Ariel. Thank you.
Jari, right? Yeah, I like it. Kinetic, good, the bad, the ugly for you, sir.
I mean, I got to agree with Maniac on the defense, but specifically, I'll point out our guys, Brandon Hillman, TJ Guy. They killed it. And I mean, I know you mentioned Zeke Berry getting burned, but he kind of turned it on in the second half.
He did.
Jayshon Barham showing out. So I mean, our defense, even what was the other guy, Cam, defensive lineman, Cam Brandt, is that right? Cam Brandt?
Yeah, number 91. Number 91.
Yeah, he was showing up in the game. So yeah, our defense has got to be the good. Our defense kept us in the game. No matter how badly our offense and Kirk Campbell tried to lose the game for us, they tried to give us chance after chance to win. So I got to go with the defense. For the good, I'm sorry, for the bad, I'm gonna say, man, it's our QB play. But I'm gonna go 2 levels with it.
Okay.
Davis Warren had. I'm not going to say he regressed, but he didn't take any steps forward from where he was.
Mm-hmm.
We've been seeing him take big steps forward the last 2 or 3 weeks prior to this. And he was, 16 of 32 for 137 yards. It's not going to get it done. We needed to see him take another step forward from what he did in the MSU and the Oregon game, and we did. But a bigger concern, and I brought this up on the post-game show, every time we put Alex Orji in, the defensive coordinators know what we're doing. They not just the defensive coordinators, the fans, the media, the reporters, journalists, everybody's saying, "Oh, here comes the QB draw."
Blind people,
and every single time we drive down the field, we get to the red zone, and then they take Davis Warren out. And they put him in, and it kills our momentum. Yeah. I don't understand why they chose Davis Warren to start the season. They put him back in for the rest of the season, but yet they still won't trust him with the game in his hands. And it'd be different if we had a better option. But so far, that option ain't working.
Yeah.
The ugly, it's Kirk Campbell, man. His play calling, it's atrocious, man.
Hold on. Who'd you say it was?
Kirk Campbell.
And I'm dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
Yeah, exactly. That guy, he just, again, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a spot on a staff. Maybe he is a good QB's coach. I don't think we can say one way or the other. He did good last year, but he was also handed J.J. McCarthy. I don't know. But on the flip side, he's had Orji, and he hasn't developed Orji's arm at all. Orji's got a cannon of an arm, and he hasn't been able to develop him into any kind of accuracy beyond where he was probably when he came out of high school. So you combine that with the offensive play calling, and he's the ugly. He's the ugliest part of our team.
Absolutely. I'm going to be quick because we got our guest backstage. I'm actually going to leave this up and let him give his good, bad, ugly too. The good for me was the fact that we kept it as close as it was. All right, I'm going to be real with you. A 5-point game to a team that had been blowing the doors off of everybody they were playing pretty much. Michigan kept it close. Michigan actually had a chance. Had multiple chances. By the way, if Michigan gets touchdowns instead of field goals in this game, this is probably a double-digit win for Michigan. But I digress. The bad is obviously the fact that Michigan lost again. So the good is that we kept it close. The bad is that we lost. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but Michigan lost again. Michigan is fighting for their life now, right? Just to be able to make a bowl game. Now, doesn't matter that we go into the I can't believe it's not Butter Bowl, but fighting for your life to make that bowl is crazy. And then the ugly. By the way, I want to switch my good. I said the good was that we kept it close. The good was actually Brandon Hillman. Brandon Hillman was out there absolutely smacking people. That's the good. The ugly, I got to be real, man. The coaching decisions by the head coach. Listen to me before everybody gets upset. This man in back-to-back weeks has made some of the most questionable calls down the stretch of a game, or needing your timeout and blowing it on a call that you have to know. And if you don't know, we got bigger questions, isn't going to go your way, right? I get the and I was a person that was saying, yo, he need to show some emotion and he need to get, talk to refs. I even brought up the fact he should have challenged that play that ended up being a first down. It wasn't very clear. This was 2 weeks ago, but I just thought he should have challenged that, just for the sake of challenging. But these joints, when you need them, bad idea. So the ugly is the head coaching decisions. I'm gonna bring on my friend, your friend, everybody's friend, Johnny Olden Jr. What's good?
What up, y'all? What up? What up?
King of the North.
What up, Johnny?
The real King of the North. I wish I had that bite, by the way. I would play it right here, right now.
King of the North. Love that show.
Yeah. Amazing show. Johnny, you heard us give our good, the bad, the ugly of last week's game. What's yours, sir?
The good, you actually got my good. I was about to say Hillman sending dudes to the phantom zone. He got had them boys over there. They didn't know what to do.
Right.
And I was glad to see that. Like we need that. Hey, if we're gonna go down, let's take some dudes out with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was glad to see that. And I'm gonna stick with that, honestly. Him, and I was glad to see Zeke Berry come back from that first half.
Yeah,
because
he needed that.
I was like, bro,
he needed that.
And as a corner, it ain't. I mean, you're supposed to next play. But when you've been getting cooked like he has the last 3-4 weeks, it ain't easy to just let it go and come back from that. So I'm glad to see that because I think everybody had a lot of high hopes for Zeke.
Right.
He's not Sainris still. We didn't think he would be that, but we thought he'd be better than this,
Right.
So I was glad to see that. And Hillman, I'm ready to see you come back next year.
Yeah.
He continues on this upward trajectory. He's going to be a monster next year.
Absolutely.
The bad.
Plus he's going to put on some weight. Hey,
man. He's going to be killing dudes.
Yeah.
The bad.
And cleanly.
That's the big thing. All he has to do is, like when I think it was a third down and they threw it right before the sticks.
Right. Yeah.
He was there, but he was a little bit late. He just has to get that reactionary. Okay, I know the job. I know what I'm seeing. Boom, go. Don't just trust yourself and go. Because those are pick sixes if you're on top of your game.
Yeah.
You know
that comes with reps. More reps.
Exactly.
Better.
The bad, the running back rotation. That was bad. Like we waiting too long to get Mullins in the game.
It's a good one.
You don't really know we're doing Donovan on this. I call it the farewell tour. Benjamin Hall, what did Sharon say? He had a good practice. Donovan and Hall had better practices than Mullins, but we're pretty far in the season, bro, to be
making decisions based on how they practice during the week.
Yeah. And relegating him to the third back almost, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Makes this look like you don't know what you're doing. If that's the case, hey, let's see what Jordan Marshall got.
Yeah. And Johnny, what's crazy is I see him returning kicks. So it goes back to, as you would say, the eye candy. Bringing Jordan Marshall, right? So now the defense is going to say he's getting the ball. Use him as a decoy, at least the first play. They going to think he going to get it. Yo, that's their star freshman. He getting it. No stupid, fake. Bing! Over the head with Orgy. Perfect. You put Orgy in there with Marshall. This is 100% run. No, Colston. Here, happy birthday. Touchdown.
That takes too much.
Thank
thought.
you.
Bro, you got to know what you're doing.
We threw a screen last week. Yo, bro, I felt like a little kid in a candy store.
Yeah, that's a fact. You could be using some of these different backs and doing different things, bringing them in, but we so basic, we ain't seen a draw all season really. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Super basic.
The ugly, just the offense in general, I guess. Yeah, I mean, how can we say anything else is ugly besides that? Because you say the offense is ugly. You can jump, you can bundle them all in. You can Davis Warren, Orgy, you can Kurt Campbell, Sharon, hey, throw them all in there. So
absolutely.
Offense is ugly.
Yeah,
absolutely. Johnny, I put this up. You're already here, obviously, but I just wanted to put this up so that people get their questions ready for you. This was originally your night anyway. We did last minute have a chance to interview Michigan's latest commit in Jamar Browder, and it looks like it's not going to happen tonight. But we were going to include you on that. You were aware of that, so it looks like it might not happen tonight. We'll see what happens though. But I wanted the chat to be able to get questions that they wanted to ask you for however long out the way. Do not ask Johnny anything about Johnny's live. Johnny handles his live. No, I'm joking. But I did see a question in the chat while we were all talking that I wanted to answer. And I don't want this person to think we not answer them. Shout out to Jason Gauss. He says, Maze, Maniac, and Kinetic. We're gonna add you in here, Johnny. Would y'all rather have Bryce Underwood this year? I guess he's talking about the next year, or have Jesse Minter as Michigan's defensive coordinator? Let's start with you, Johnny. What do you think?
Oof.
Would I rather have Underwood or Jesse Minter?
Right.
Let's assume for the sake of the question that we get either one for 3 to 4 years minimum.
Right.
I'd probably take Jesse. Honestly.
Okay.
I'm a defensive dude, though.
Right.
I look at a defense and say, oh, we scored 10. We scored 10. All right, let's hold them to 7. That's the type of thinking that I do. We hold them to 15. All right, hey,
right.
That's what we got to do. I always want a defense. A great defensive coach and defensive mind has guys well coached. I'm gonna take that every time because they're gonna always give you a chance to win.
All right, no doubt. Same question to you, Kinetic. Who you taking?
I think I'd have to go with Jesse. I'm thinking long term for the program. If we're getting him as a DC for minimum 3 years, potentially head coach after that. You look at him coming in with his system, his version of the system, being able to groom and mentor his heir apparent. I think that's better for the long term health of our program, especially when we got Brady Hart coming in the next year anyway.
No doubt. Maniac.
Man, it's man, oh man. Looking at that, it's definitely tough, man, because Underwood is just not your average 5-star, right? If there was a 6-star, he'll be a 6-star, right? So
right.
He's a generational kind of talent, right? He's a talent that can, flip a program around for the better. Right, he's just that good, and of course, it attracts. Right, y'all want to play with him, and you talk, yo, come over here, baby. You see what I'm doing? We cooking over here. We in the kitchen. We got our aprons on. So, but I guess I will have to go Jesse, and this is why I'll say that, right? Because when you look at Jesse Minter, we know why he's done already, right? He's arguably right now, and we see what he's doing it at Los Angeles Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the best defensive minds of all of football. I'm not just talking about NFL, gentlemen. I'm talking about all of football, college and NFL. And the dude is a baby. He's a young dude. He will be a head coach very soon at the NFL level. Right. So while he'll bring in them kind of recruits, man, you're talking about the animals. He'll be recruiting on the defensive side, and it'll get to and he'll be able to recruit something decent. We'll be able to recruit something decent at the quarterback position because they see what we got dogs at defense and what Jesse Minter's doing. So I think long term, like you gentlemen said, you gotta go with Jesse Mensah, but it's not an easy decision though.
Now, if we're talking only getting Jesse for next year and then he leaves again, I'd take Underwood.
Well, you said assuming we're getting both 2 to 3 years, right? All right,
3. Let's do 3 because you have, as a football player, you have to. Do 3.
Exactly. So 3 years, right? 3. All right, cool. This is what I got to say to all 3 of you.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Closely. Bryce Underwood is the only answer. Jesse Minter was fantastical. Let me not get anything misconstrued. Jesse Minter was dynamite as a defensive coordinator. I would take Jesse Minter 10 out of 10 times over Wink Martindale. I would take Jesse Minter over Mike McDonald, who I think really started the turnaround for Michigan, actually turned this thing around. Jesse Minter is amazing. You see what he's doing right now. I mean, the Chargers are dominant on defense. I think they got the number 1 defense in the NFL. So all you haters who were saying Connor Stallions, Jesse Minter is doing the same thing in the NFL, the tougher
level.
Right, absolutely. I'm giving
a team that was in the 20s of defensive rankings last year.
23rd. They were at the bottom third of the league last year. So I'm giving Jesse Minter his flowers. That said, the rock star that Underwood is, the gravitational pull that Underwood, and it's not even just about Underwood's play even, which I think is dynamite, but it's just about the perception of Michigan if Michigan can get Bryce Underwood. You know what I mean? I think Bryce Underwood does more for Michigan's brand than even Jesse Minter, right? If Michigan can land Bryce Underwood, you're putting the rest of the country on notice that Michigan can go get the best player. Now, granted, Michigan was able to go get Rashawn Gary. I think he was number 1 at the time in the country, but he wasn't a quarterback. He wasn't a quarterback, 20 minutes, 30 minutes down the road. He wasn't a 5+ star now, as they're saying, right? He was a defensive lineman. In fact, I think he was being recruited as a defensive tackle initially, right? They made him into a defensive end or whatever. But I think Bryce Underwood is the only answer because of what Bryce Underwood can do, what Bryce Underwood does for Michigan outside of what Bryce Underwood himself would do physically for Michigan. $5 super chat from Devin Swilly says the only thing keeping me sane during the Michigan season is that the Lions are doing good. Listen, as a non-Michigander, but as a fan of football my whole life, the Detroit Lions have been in the toilet. I mean, y'all had Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, my absolute favorite running back of all time. I think he's the GOAT, in fact. But outside of Barry, what's my man? Herman Moore. I remember those days, right?
Hey, he was my dude.
Herman Moore, back in the day. Dre Bly. Like, I remember the Detroit players even before Megatron, right? Y'all had the Rodney Peets and the is it McDowell, whatever his name was, the quarterback. He wasn't very good, but anyway, point I'm making is
quarterbacks.
The point I'm making is Detroit football, Lions football has been very bad for a very long time. And I know it doesn't even sound right coming from somebody who's a Raiders fan. Don't get me started on the Raiders, but it's been bad. And I will say this year, you guys look like an absolute machine. So shout out to the Lions. Congratulations.
Until they run into my 49ers.
Stop it. They should have beat y'all last year. I'm going to be real with you. They was up 17, third quarter.
Listen,
they should have beat y'all.
Should have, could have, but didn't. You sounded like Ohio
That's a fact.
Fans.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact.
You know who did beat your 49ers this year, Maniac?
Nah,
You know who did beat your 49ers this year?
Who? That was a 4
My Vikings.
That was a good game too. Y'all ain't cookers. But no.
I get so tired of Stephen Brown hating. I know your government, boy. I know your government. Don't try to dot again. That's your name.
Hey, Burks want to know why you're a 49ers fan. You live in New York.
I asked the same question.
Listen, I told you. Listen. All right. Since we're here already, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I told you, all my fans. I've been a Michigan fan since '90. Right? I'm telling you, I'm the Puerto Rican Desmond Howard. Y'all don't believe me? When we get together, we're gonna have a flag football game. Y'all gonna see how the Maniac play, right? But anyway, I always wanted to be a receiver. I was always fast, you know. And Desmond Howard, I watched him. I'm like, yo, this dude is different. And then who the 49ers had as their receiver at that time? The GOAT,
right?
Bryce. I said, I like this guy. And that's it, bro. I stuck. Those are the teams I stuck to. New York, trust me, we all over the place, especially me. And you know who's my NBA team? And don't laugh at me because I'll block all of y'all. Utah Jazz.
Nah, you got to get blocked. We blocking you for liking the Jazz.
Listen, remember, I'm 42 years old. I ain't afraid to say my age up here. So I'm an old school dude. I've been that fundamental basketball, Malone and Stockton. Yeah. While everybody was a Chicago Bull fan, right? Everybody, Jordan.
As they should be.
Facts.
Facts. No, but you hear that? I used to be. You was a free agent. You a free agent. You signed with the Lakers after that when Kobe and Shaq was there. So look, man. He said, I look like John Stockton Ripstar. That's funny.
Yeah. First of all, John Stockton, shout out to John Stockton, who's a legend, Karl Malone legends, right? That was boring basketball. That's like watching paint dry or counting doves or something. I don't know, bro. But you know, to each their own. That was a legendary team that just couldn't beat the Bulls. Anyway, how you from New York, but like the only franchise that would be welcome in Mayberry. Hey, yo.
Listen, I keep it real, and those are still my teams. I'm telling you, I got a lot of. He said, "Where shows like John Stockton." Nah, man. Bro,
I got a question real quick, bro. Yeah. New York was kind of good back then, though, with Patrick Ewing and John Stockton.
Right.
They were, and you know, everyone I went to school with was pretty much a Knicks fan, and the Bulls. It was Knicks and Bulls. I was
the Bulls had a hold out there in New York. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, and you know, New York, they embody that New York attitude. That team. You had Ewing, you had Anthony Mason, you had Derek Harper, you had my man Charles Smith. And these guys like oh man, same thing with like Detroit. Detroit, that's a rough city, man.
Bad boys.
And the Pistons, the bad boys, they embody that. Like you think of Detroit, you're like, oh yeah, shit is wild out there. And they team play like that. That's how the Knicks in the 90s. But the problem was they had one guy in front of them, and so did we. His name is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I mean, if you want a team that plays like the Bad Boys, why not just be a fan of the Bad Boys?
There you go.
No, not me. I'm just talking about that Knicks team that Maze Man was alluding to. He was like, yo, because the Knicks were good at that time. They would have went to the finals a couple of years if it wasn't for the Bulls.
No doubt.
See, I've never had an actual NBA team. I had an all-time favorite player who I was a diehard fan of.
Yeah.
Take a guess. Take a guess. One guess each of you. Who do you think my favorite all-time player was?
In NBA?
Yeah, NBA.
Wrong answers only. No, I'm joking.
Will Purdue.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna go Keith Van Horn.
Nah, honestly, I would say what year we're talking about again?
Late 90s is when he debuted.
Late 90s.
Late 90s.
Mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s.
Dirk.
Tim Duncan.
No. A couple years earlier.
T-Mac.
I like T-Mac, but he wasn't my favorite.
T-Mac was my favorite player.
Vince Carter.
No. I like T-Mac more than Vince.
Kobe?
Allen Iverson. Okay, Allen Iverson. Right. That's my boy.
Right. Oh, AI.
AI was nice. He was nasty. And I'm my bad because I was out here giving all the wrong answers. Who the hell would have picked Keith Van Horn as their favorite player?
You want me to name a white guy I liked in the NBA? What was that guy that looked like Ashton Kutcher that could hit threes all day long?
What
was his name?
Wasn't his name like Kutcher? It was
yeah.
Corver.
No, Kyle Korver, yeah.
Kyle Korver, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. By the way, don't sleep on Jason Williams. This was my favorite player for a good 2-3 year stretch.
Yeah.
Jason Williams,
as y'all say, right? He was always invited to the barbecue. Jason
always
Williams.
invited to the barbecue. White chocolate. Shout out to white chocolate. All right. Anyway, let's talk some football, man.
Yeah.
More importantly, let's grill this man in the bottom box right here. Our guest, Mr. Johnny Olden. Johnny. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maniac.
Hey, Lich Max has a question that he's asked a couple times in here.
Yeah.
So he was asking us to name if we had carte blanche, any coaches that we wanted, a head coach, an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, college, NFL, that we could put on our team. We could take off their current team and put on Michigan. Who we got? Dream lineup for coaching staff of current head coach, OC, DC. But you got to keep them in their current position. Well, college or NFL. College or NFL. You want to bring Klink back, whatever, but head coach has to be a head coach.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny.
DC, I'm bringing Jesse back. I mean, that's the easy one.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
We bringing Jesse back.
Head coach, I don't know.
Fire. This episode was fire, by the way.
Yo, is that show good?
If you don't watch this show, bro, this show is fire.
Yes,
it's like HBO always has a good show or two. That one's fire. But my bad, go ahead.
I'm thinking I'm not sure who I would want to be the head coach that I trust right now. Unless I'm bringing back Harbaugh.
Right.
Hey, bring back the crew for me.
Bring them all back.
Hey, bring back the crew. If I'm gonna just really think about it, but I need a little more time with them at their current position, because some of these dudes I would want them at a different position than they are right now. Like Ed Fish, I'd like him to be the OC,
right?
Not the head coach. Even though he seems like a good head coach, but I'm not ready for that yet, But I'd rather, so I'd have like Jed Fish, Joe Brady, OC.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this so we can make it a little easier, because we're all Michigan fans.
Right.
Pick somebody that's not been a coach at Michigan.
All right. I'm gonna go. Look, I'm gonna go. So, if they were OCs before and currently head coach, can I still use them as an OC?
I don't know. Lichamax, put in the chat.
Because if
can we put current head coaches that were coordinators at coordinator, or if they've already been a head coach, they have to stay as a head coach.
The reason I say it, look at Chip Kelly. He's a perfect example. He went from head coach to the OC at Ohio State. So
we could never use any of those bums.
I know. No. you know who I will pick as an OC. I know it's gonna be an unpopular pick, but I think as an OC, he'll do fine. Lincoln Riley, give me my man Kirby Smart from Georgia.
Okay.
And then who's the other coach?
DC,
and give me Jesse Minter. Come on,
you can't use Jesse Minter. You said.
Well, I thought you said you could bring him back.
No.
Okay,
no former Michigan guys.
What's my man Parker from Iowa? What's his name?
Phil Parker.
Phil Parker from Iowa, bro. If you get that dude some 4 stars, if he had Michigan type defensive players, if he could bring those in like Ohio State and Michigan bring in Penn State, forget about it.
Getting that cover 4 in.
Yeah.
They're gonna
those would be my 3. Lincoln Riley, Parker, and Kirby.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good.
I like that. Go ahead, Kinetic.
All right, so I'm gonna go. These are my personal picks. For OC, I'm still gonna stick with the guy that I think we should be looking at to replace Kirk Campbell. I'm gonna go with my guy Jordan Davis. I brought him up 2 weeks ago. The current OC at North Texas. The more I watch him, the more I like him. Mm-hmm. I think that he's a good fit. I think he's got a pro style, but with more of an open, not just run pass. It's not run pass. So I still like him as an OC. For head coach, if I can't bring back former Michigan coaches, I'm going to go with who I think is one of the best pro-style coaches in college right now, and that's Sark.
Who?
Sarkisian.
Oh, Sark.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think I would go with him to keep the same pro-style offense. And for defense, I'm going to reach into the NFL. I'm going to go to my Vikings. I'm going to bring Brian Flores. If we got to go away from the amoeba defense,
that's amazing.
Brian Flores' defense is nasty.
I agree.
You look at how he uses guys like Josh Metellus and like Jonathan Grenard and like Andrew Van Ginkel, and the way that they're tearing things up in the NFL. He puts them all over the field. Josh Metellus played like 9 out of 11 positions last season. It was insane. His defense is nuts.
Listen, man, I'll be the first to admit I didn't know Josh Metellus' career was going to be this long, man. He's a starter. He's cooking.
Got out of that Don Brown scheme. A lot of them dudes flourished once they got to that field.
No doubt. I'll go. All right, you gave a DC, right?
Yeah. I was saying I picked
you
Brian
said,
Flores.
Yeah.
Brian Flores.
Who, by the way, that's amazing pick. That would be the pick if you didn't pick it. I think that's the best pick.
Now, I don't think he'll ever come from pro to college, but if I could, I'd pull him.
Yeah, no, I like that one actually. I like it a lot. Head coach, I'll go with man, I like Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin's demeanor for head coach.
And he dirty too. He'll get in your way on that sideline.
Hey, act like you don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? I'm a whatever it takes kind of guy anyway. That's why I'm out. If it takes
you ain't
80
cheating,
million,
you ain't trying.
whatever it takes.
Y'all heard that one. I ain't knocking him.
DC, give me Pete. I think it's like Kwiatkowski, homie from Texas, and I think Texas has the #1 defense this year. I think I could be wrong.
Let me look.
Yeah. But the DC from Texas, I like him. And then OC, you took my OC too, which I think you put me on to as well. So I'm not gonna be mad.
I was gonna say I'm the one that told you about him. Pete Kwiatkowski.
There we go. Yeah. I like him. For DC and then OC, I wanna take Sark. I know he's a head coach, but I would take Sark's as offensive coordinator. He was an offensive coordinator before, so give me Sark.
What y'all think about the coordinator for offensive coordinator for the Lions?
Ben Johnson.
The defensive coordinator for the Lions too, bro.
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's a star coach in the making, dude. He'd be great.
He got that offense rolling, man. They definitely rolling.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like all that tricky.
Yes,
the eye candy, the trickeration, and the eye candy imagination.
Yeah.
Tell me you put some thought into this,
Joe Sloan.
Hey, I will say that I do agree with Ripstar that Nick Sheridan it would be good. I disagree with you, Madman. I think Sheridan would be good.
Sheridan, he's gonna. You know where he's going next?
IUPUI,
Chipotle A&M. That's who he's going to be the OC for, man. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But hey, listen, anybody but Campbell. Let's just talk about that.
How about that?
Anybody but Campbell.
How about it?
And you know, I don't know if you guys saw it today, but Nebraska got demoted their offensive coordinator from play calling, brought in Holgerson, and made him the play caller midseason.
I saw Florida State fired everybody with a title except for
Norvell. Yeah,
I like that. Hey,
I'm a fan of it too. They fire everybody that had a lanyard.
If it's bad, ain't no. If it's bad, ain't no point.
So here's the thing. I'm against it if they don't have a plan in place. Like the way Nebraska did, they brought Holderson in as an analyst, an assistant to like just be there, and then they demoted the guy from play calling. They already had the next guy there to step into it. If people are saying fire coaches without a backup or without a plan in place, no, let's wait till the end of the season to do that.
It's bad. Fire his ass.
Yeah.
I'm Sharon. Take over that job. I'm sorry. I'm tired of him, bro. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sharon,
No
just
doubt.
take over the play calling.
Please.
Who you gonna give it to? Who you gonna give the clipboard to? Jack Tuttle? I mean, he ain't doing nothing on the sideline now.
Yeah.
Right.
Is he gonna be any worse than Campbell?
I don't think it can get worse than this.
It never can.
I think you could call the plays from your PlayStation straight from. By the way, speaking of your PlayStation, somebody gave me an excellent idea. Shout out to Ripstar to have you do some.
He mentioned it to me. I'm not able to. I think
it's a good idea.
I don't think I can do that. We can talk about it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I want to ask this, right? I know we going there. I want to speak a little bit on the state of college football. Around the country, man. Let's go around the country. Gentlemen, who's right now? I mean, there's really no clear cut, but if you had to pick five teams, top 5 teams, who would you pick? Not based on ranking where they rank, because a lot of these rankings they misleading. I'm talking about from what you've seen there, and it makes it interesting because there's no clear cut.
Right.
So we just talking about like our own personal top 5 power rankings.
Correct.
Which we didn't do this week, by the way. But yeah.
I did power rankings last week. Y'all told me I was not supposed to do that.
No. We're doing around the country. We're not doing in the Big Ten.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I picked. So when I was asked before the season started, I said I thought that the national title game was going to be Oregon and Texas, and I'm not the kind of person that's going to change my picks throughout the season. That was my picks. I'm sticking with.
It's looking good. It's looking good still.
So I'm going to put them 1 and 2. I said I thought Oregon would win, so I'm going to put Oregon 1 and Texas 2. After that, it gets a little dicier, man. I mean, Alabama's good, but it's like they're like the Lincoln Riley Oklahoma teams. I feel like they've got the offense to get there, but they don't have the defense to get past getting there. Man, I don't know. Because Miami just got beat too. Man, it's harder than I thought it would be.
Colorado.
Because Georgia's been losing.
I see some good ones in the chat. Y'all putting up some good top 5s. I see a lot of people not really putting OSU.
It's a ghetto ass operation.
I mean, I see someone put in there Tennessee. I like Tennessee a lot, but I think Nico's still a little inconsistent.
Right.
You know what? I'll say Ole Miss probably is in the top 5. I don't know if they'd be number 3. I got mixed feelings on Lane Kiffin, but he's good. I mean, I got to say Indiana until they lose.
The original, I'm disappointed in you for including that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus.
Yeah, I can't include Ohio State.
But shout out to you.
Listen, I get it, Johnny. Who you like? Who's your top 5? If you could pick. I mean, it has to be no particular order. Just 5 teams that you just feel right now they are clear cut above the rest. 5.
I got you. And I look at this as if I look at it like if they were in the playoff, you don't want to play them kind of thing. So I got Oregon, Texas, Oregon doing what they doing. I hope they lose, but I hate Dan Lanning right now, boy.
I think me and you the only ones on this page, by the way.
I do not like
everybody else is like, oh, you got to stop him. Nah, forget Dan Lanning.
No, I'm with you, but I mean, he's still a good coach.
I mean, he's a good coach. He's a dickhead, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Yeah,
I agree.
Real. He's a fucking douche. Like, come on. But
but that's what everyone's saying they want. They say Sharon's too nice. We need an asshole at coach. So.
I get it, but we just had somebody
that just happened to us, okay?
And did it with class. Did it with a touch of class.
Thank you. The Harbaugh would have taken a knee right there.
we won. It don't matter if you win. You playing for Vegas or you playing to win the game. What you doing?
By the way, he did ruin my parlay with that fucking touchdown. Fuck that guy.
What really put me over the edge, not to get too sidetracked, was him with the little video. Are you not entertained? You fucking douche.
Bro, I hated that video.
Boy.
Hated that video.
Let me move on.
Are you not entertained?
Texas, we know Texas. They got Sark, they got the offense, the defense playing real well. I'm still going with Bama. You don't want to see Jalen Milroe, especially not when he's doing what he did the other day. You don't want to see him. You know, I agree. I don't think nobody want to see him except us last year. You know what we did to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, Johnny. Remember, we knew all they plays, so that's why we won.
Hey, we knew that. You're right.
We went in there and retired Saban and looked them in their eye and told them,
to get this work. Hold up. He gonna get this work. You gonna get this work.
They sure did.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Big facts.
So Bama, they in playoff mode, so they dangerous.
Yeah.
Because 3 losses, you don't know what your future holds. So they already in playoff mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got these dudes been there, so I got some faith in them. And I know people might not like this one still, but I still got Georgia in there. Yeah. Like I still got Georgia. Carson Beck is trash. He's trash.
That's why I didn't add him. That's why I didn't add them.
Yeah. You got it. And their secondary is, but to me, people better hope they don't get in that playoff. If they get in that playoff, don't nobody want to play them because they might score 15 and you lose. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just once Kirby gets them into that playoff mode. But they got to get there. But I'm still. So I got one. What I got? One more. Who we got? I'm not buying Indiana.
No,
not after.
I was gonna ask y'all why nobody put Indiana in there
because
we ain't good, and if we had a decent offense, bro, we get him a controlled butt whooping.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Wink said, Wink put on his shades and said, okay, I'm trash, huh? Okay. Second half, let's get it. So I can't put them in there. Who I was just seeing? I guess I'm gonna have to put OSU as much as I don't want to. I'm gonna have to put them on in there.
That's why I put Indiana, so I didn't have to put them in.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe you just did that.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I had to put them in there, bro, because it ain't that many teams.
No doubt. Nah, I get it. You're absolutely right. And look, if we being because this has to be unbiased.
Yeah.
Look at the original now.
I don't see them beating the teams that I just named though. Like I just ain't really nobody else. Miami's a joke.
So I'm gonna surprise some people. I'm gonna put Texas and Oregon in there. I think that's everybody safely put them in there, right? Texas and Oregon is in. I think Bama gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem is choosing between 2 more SEC schools, which I hate to do, but unfortunately that is the position that we are in. And I went the way of Tennessee as my 4th team. The 5th team is going to shock you guys. Since they lost, now granted, this is a horrible fucking loss. But since they lost to Northern Illinois, Notre Dame has been smoking the boots of their competition. Their offense has gotten better. Riley Leonard is actually completing passes down the field for touchdowns. He can run the football. He's dangerous. He's a dangerous weapon to have. And of course, those running backs are good. That defense is pretty stout. I think Notre Dame deserves some consideration at number 5. It pains me to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Tennessee just had one loss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really like Tennessee. I've been high on Tennessee all year. I just feel like in the big moments, Nico is still inconsistent.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Look,
easy
you
on.
also have you have as far as Notre Dame, they a $3 bill. It's gonna be the next segment. Who's a $3 bill? That's Notre Dame is a $3 bill, right? They'll get in, but they're gonna get fried rice. Trust me.
I hope they play the other state.
That'd be good.
I hope they beat them actually.
So we're not talking about nobody talking about BYU.
Bro.
If Nico can get consistent and step up in big moments, if he can pull that together by the playoffs, they're my number 3 team, Tennessee.
Yeah. So look, they go into Athens this Saturday. Tennessee, and this is Georgia playing for.
And this will both to Johnny's point on him including Georgia and how good they are, and to my point on putting them in my top 5. This will answer those questions.
Facts. Because if they lose this one, it's a wrap for Kirby.
I think. Listen, man,
this year,
if Georgia loses to Tennessee, I don't think they get in. But if they do, watch out. Watch out.
I'm saying though, if Nico can get his shit together as a quarterback, man, that team's scary.
Yeah, but
Nico, oh my god, dude.
But that's like kinetic. That's just saying if Georgia's defense can emulate what they did at Texas, then it don't matter what quarterback.
But there's more untapped potential in Nico than any player on Georgia's defense.
I don't know, man. They went up against Quinn Ewers and Archie Manning.
They dominated Texas.
In the
No, I'm saying, but pick any player on Georgia's defense,
right?
And you can't find a player on Georgia's defense that has a higher ceiling if he plays to his max potential. I think Nico is a Heisman winner if he plays to his potential.
What's the kid that committed to Michigan?
I'm not saying he wins the Heisman this year. I'm saying I've been saying that I think Nico wins the Heisman if he develops to his potential in college.
We get it.
Yeah.
It's hard to disagree with that. He has a high ceiling. But what's the kid, the linebacker for Georgia committed to Michigan?
Raylan Wilson.
Wilson. I think he has a pretty high ceiling. I don't think it's Nico's ceiling, but he was flying around against Texas, making some plays too. But I agree with you. I think
I'm not saying that the Georgia's defense are bad. I'm just saying that Nico is that good or potentially that good.
Yeah, I've seen him. He does have potential, but he's been inconsistent as well. So that's kind of been the story of the season, with the exception of the Oregon. Everybody's kind of been inconsistent, right? But at least they win. Oh my god.
See, this is why we don't take Ripstar serious.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
What?
Drunk now, Rip.
Nico, as he is right now, is leagues ahead of any quarterback we got on our team right
now. No, that's a bona fide fact.
Anybody.
Miller Moss is only probably come into if BU goes to LSU. Yeah, I agree with this. Miller Moss isn't going to come to be Bryce.
So I've actually heard the opposite. I've heard Miller Moss wants to come anyway, and I've heard that there's a decent enough chance that if we had both of them show up, that Miller Moss might win the job the first year.
Let me stop the show right here. Let me stop.
I've heard people on shows talking about it.
Yeah, but I think that's just more
the press.
That's just more talk. That's just chatter, man. Because I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's experienced. He's played numerous games at the college level. So to say he doesn't have a shot, but I just think Underwood is just one of those 5 stars you just know right off the bat.
I mean, I think Underwood's better than him by the end of his career, but I'm saying you've got freshman Bryce Underwood versus whatever year Miller Moss is. Miller Moss has actual games played at a high level. And let's not act like Miller Moss was like a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. He was like way up there in the rankings.
Here's the problem. This is the problem. And I hear what you're saying. And I might not even disagree with that. The problem is economics. You think Michigan gonna pay somebody upwards of $10 million, or any school for that matter, upwards of $10 million for him to come in and not play? That's why I said
I think that with
last show,
Sharon's job on the line next year, he's going to play the quarterback that gives him the best chance to win, regardless of what they're making in that collective check.
Them donors ain't gonna be happy seeing that
absolutely
money.
not. That's why I said the last show, there's going to be no competition. If Bryce Underwood signs to come to Michigan in December, if he is on the Michigan roster, he is the quarterback. There's no quarterback competition.
Hold on. Yeah.
Him being the quarterback.
Listen, I'm not saying that Miller Moss should start over Underwood. I'm saying I've heard people making that case, and there's a case to be made for it. Because especially next year, because we got, I think, 2 more road games next year than we had this year, and you go on the road to some of these environments, you don't want a freshman quarterback out there if you have a seasoned player that's almost at the same level or close to it as the freshman.
Why don't
experience?
All right.
Freshman on the road. We were just talking about Nico. His inconsistencies come when he's on the road in big time games, big time stadiums. Oklahoma's a trash team this year, but the first game he struggled in was when they went to Oklahoma because that was his first road game in a major stadium. Sure. I don't care how good Bryce Underwood is; he's still going to have some struggles as a freshman starting quarterback, especially on the road.
Let me give you some facts. We saw Miller Moss come to the big house. Hold on. Miller Moss came to the big house and lost to a glorified linebacker at quarterback. At least that's what the people call him. In Orgy, Miller Moss lost to Minnesota on the road.
You're acting like Miller Moss got a better offensive line than we got. It's as bad, if not worse.
We just talking the facts now, right? These are the facts. This quarterback with all this experience has gone on the road in the Big Ten against not the greatest of competition. You can't call this Michigan team a great team. And he left with a big old L. You can't call PJ Fleck and them a great team. And he lost.
No, I'm saying their offensive line is horrible.
Meanwhile, a true freshman is starting in Nebraska. Now, granted, Nebraska just shit the bed last week. We get it. But that true freshman went into Columbus and damn near won the game. Yeah. So I don't know if the experience versus true freshman thing is the right answer. I do stand behind economics, though. Follow the money is what somebody told me a long time ago.
And I want to be clear. I'm not even saying that I think Miller Moss is the answer. I mean, it's very clear that he wants to come here. I've been saying for a long time, if we're going to go after a portal quarterback, if he's not going pro, I say call up Caden Salter. I think he's better than Miller Moss.
Liberty's quarterback. Is he?
Yeah. He's a
he
junior.
Still has. Okay, all right, cool.
He's got 1 year eligibility this year if he wants it, but this next year, sorry.
Maniac, I know you was trying to make a point. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. It was just regarding Bryce Underwood, right? I mean, honestly, I don't. I'm like 50. I'm more like 60-40. He's not coming. That's just me, right? Because as a Michigan fan, that's why I've seen we just get heartbroken with these recruits. We have gotten behind, but these major ones,
we're trying to make up a lot of time real in a short time.
Yes, and that's why it's good. Listen, Kinetic, if this dude leg gets severed, he's gonna get a prosthetic leg, and he's gonna go on that field and play. Doesn't matter what happens. He's gonna play. I get what you're saying, with the experience of Miller Moss, but like you said, it's too much money. Johnny, you mentioned it in your show. These people dishing out cash. I don't care.
But you're telling me Sharon Moore. You're telling me if Sharon Moore's on the hot seat and he's going to play, if he goes into camp and thinks that Miller Moss gives him the better chance to win than Bryce Underwood right now, if he thought that, and if he doesn't perform this year and win, he's probably gone as head coach. You're telling me he's going to say, well, I think this guy's going to give me a better chance to win, but since this guy's making so much more money, we're going to put him in. I don't think so. I think he's going to go with the guy that's going to save his job.
Campbell's still calling the plays. He don't care.
Not for much longer.
Obvious.
I mean, the question would be if he did that and played Miller Moss, if winning cures all, if we were in a situation and we were winning with him, then it's cool. But you still might have dudes mad because my money on the bench. If we can win with Miller, we can win it with him. That's
but you know what gets rid of that? Winning.
That's what I said.
So no, I'm saying if he plays Miller Moss because he thinks he has the better chance of winning and we win, then they can be upset all they want. We still won.
Yeah, they still gonna be mad because I've been paid this dude. I want to see.
But these are the and these are the movers and shakers. These guys mean something to what Michigan is trying to do, what Sharon Moore is trying to do in terms of the money, right? You don't want to upset the money, right?
Yeah, it's a bad situation to be in,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
It is because we already know that the sport of college football, as we knew it, is gone. It's done. This is a business more than anything now. Why you think you have all these realignments of conferences? So and it doesn't end. I could see in another 2-3 years, Big Ten adding someone else. I think the icing, the cherry on top, will be Notre Dame to the Big Ten. You add them to the Big Ten, forget about it. It's gonna. The money they generate through these TV deals is crazy, man. The Big Ten and the SEC, we know they get all the money, so it'll be good for eventually. It's gonna take Notre Dame to get left out of the playoffs, like with one loss, for them to join a conference. It's coming.
Shout out to DK, go blue. Did this happen? I know I saw the Fong bomb for him to.
It's just it hasn't been official, but everyone's predicting it.
It's all right. He's already flipped 2 times already. Twice.
However, it doesn't Notre Dame. Not Notre Dame. Alabama have some pretty good defensive back recruits in their class.
I'm not sure about that, but their DB room looks like shit this year on the field. So.
So does Michigan's. But I digress. I think this is more about his father than him, actually. I think Ike Taylor wants him to play in the South, and particularly Alabama. So I think that's not necessarily the kid, from everything that I've heard anyway.
So let me ask another question. As of right now, man, who's the top freshman in college football leading into this coming Saturday?
You want us to say it?
True freshman or redshirt freshman?
No, freshman. If you want a red shirt, fine.
If you want to count redshirt freshman, I'm going with Nico. If we're not going with redshirt freshman, I'm going to say probably Ryan Williams.
You think Nico's playing better than Ryan Williams?
I think out of all freshmen, I think he's. I would pick if I had to pick one to be on my team. I'd pick Nico.
The dude in Columbus is a monster.
Thank you. I didn't want to say
if you told me I could pick, okay, like straight up, even with Jeremiah Smith, if you told me I could pick Nico, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and put one of them on Michigan's team right now, I'm picking Nico.
That's the hole we need. We need him bad right now.
Yeah, but I think the question is different though. Yeah. It's not about like who would you rather have. He said who's the best.
Yeah, just period.
I don't think he's playing better than either one of those two. He's not playing better than Ryan Williams in my estimation. He's certainly not playing better than Jeremiah Smith in my opinion this season.
Listen, man, Jeremiah Smith, this is what I'll say, man. He's that dude is just different. It is why, he's Ohio State team. Excuse me, the other state. But I'm just not, he is why he is, man.
Jaden Davis, best freshman in
not play. Now we're talking about that hasn't played, then there you go. Maybe Jaden Davis.
That boy.
But right
now,
and any surprise team, any team that you like, I think it got to be BYU, no, or an Army about to make the playoffs. Stop playing with me. We don't get Army in the playoffs.
I think that's the last like good test for Notre Dame, right? That's the last game they're gonna play.
If they could beat Notre Dame, then we're really talking about it. But I don't think so, man.
C4 Collect in the chat saying Ryan would carry the team. I'm sorry, Ryan's not carrying a team with Davis Warren, Alex Orji,
Jaden
Denegal.
That's the problem. Ryan or Jeremiah, neither one of them would have a shot.
No, because maybe now. With those kind of guys, you just throw it up there. Hey, listen, he down there.
Man. I think they have 13.5 receiving yards if they was on this team.
We ain't dialed up a deep shot.
I know. No, you would. Damn. Time out. Hold on. Yeah. Listen, what's up with that? We the only team in the country, I believe, not to complete a pass over 40 yards.
That's crazy.
We don't even attempt a pass over 40 yards. That's the scary part.
Yo. And it's the reason why it's so upsetting is not
what it is.
Why it's so upsetting is it's not that
say the name.
You could say, we don't got the receivers. I don't care. You got to take the chance because
we didn't have the receivers last year.
You throw five long passes. 1 or 2 is gonna be a pass interference. Trust me. Mm-hmm. It's just how it is. But take the shot. How dare Michigan take a shot? How dare Michigan be creative with their offense? How dare them? Don't do that.
But look at this. This is it was some red flags on Sharon in general last year. I brought him up last year, but we won a natty. So it was who cares? At this point, we won.
Right.
But he did it last year. Lack of play action last year. Joel Klatt used to say it, and I used to say it all the time last year. Lack of play action carried over to this year. We didn't throw deep barely at all last year. Early in the season, we did. Think about the rest of the games. We didn't throw deep. That used to be Roman's calling card was a deep pass, deep route. Mm-hmm. We didn't do it after like the third or fourth game last year. Once we got through the cupcakes, we didn't throw deep. No play action, barely threw deep. Those were red flags, and I kind of let it go because we won, but it's continued into this year with less talent. You got to play action, bro. We need that.
I think that kind of gets forgotten because everyone remembers like the throws, like the one to Roman between the two guys at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. I think that kind of gets forgotten because there were good throws in key moments down the field, but it wasn't really that many of them.
No, the Nebraska pin against the helmet for Roman.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, okay, dial it up. Right. We've been running it, play action. Chad Henne, Braylon Edwards,
something else I want to ask y'all about. We've done this 3 weeks in a row now, and all 3 times it hasn't worked. This flea flicker, bro.
I've been saying they need to retire that flea flicker.
Get that flea flicker out of here, bro.
That's us dialing it up, bro. That's scary. We've been doing that.
I mean, listen, I like it, but it's they need to be able to disguise it better because like everybody sees it coming. It's ridiculous. I was watching some show and I don't remember who it was. I'd like to give him credit. I don't remember who it was, but he said he was in the press box and he said no less than 4 different journalists said, "Here comes the flea flicker," right before it happened. Like journalists, not even football coaches.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that? Were like Tony Romo Saturday. They were calling out all our bull.
Oh yeah, it was so easy. We could call it. We were at home saying, "Oh, this is a orgy run up the middle."
We watch them all the time. I wasn't expecting for them to be on them like that. They was
crazy, bro. Crazy.
It's just bad, man.
It's just embarrassing for that.
So y'all not gonna say whose fault it is.
We know.
What are you talking
about? This lack of creativity, this play calling. Period. Thank you.
And I'm dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
That picture gets me every time, bro. I swear to God.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna go holler at the Targaryens. I'm gonna borrow this dragon, and I'm gonna come back to Ann Arbor. I'm gonna flame it. Get Campbell up out of here, man.
Our play calls are from NCAA.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Look, the truth is this. There's been, as y'all say, there's been malpractice, offensive malpractice, bro.
Yeah.
That's just it's not okay. Again, we know we wasn't gonna be no defending champs. But come on, there's talent on this team to be better than what we are right now. We're 5-6. No, 5-5, excuse me. So there's no way, bro.
Steven's an idiot, man.
Yo.
And it's the truth. And those are drive killers. Because you know that with that offense, when we get down there, we're not gonna get there many times, maybe twice a game, maybe 3. You gotta make those count. No, they just say, let's just waste it down. Orgy, you running to the right. Bro, I even think they're going to start taking the corners off the receivers, and they're just going to put all 11 men in the box, and they're going to see it, and they're like, yo, just let OG run it still. Like,
and you 1,000.
I told you, Johnny, that's the eye candy. OG, Jordan Marshall, right? It's like, yo, no, they running it. Freshman quarterback, boom, stupid. I told you.
What's wild is they haven't done nothing like that, like all this time, and like the wrinkles, there's like no wrinkles to it. It's like as the season goes on, you get even more basic for stuff that you've been running, bro. Like some of this, like, are you serious?
Mike Elston is somebody that we haven't brought up a lot either, but I'd like to see him back too. Now T1000, no damn way we should let Brian Jean-Marie call the defense. That's just my personal opinion. And by the way, Wink the last couple weeks has shown at least signs of life. Let me say that.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. Johnny, we didn't get to do what we wanted to do tonight, and that was basically interview you on like your start with the channel and being a Michigan fan and all of that. And I want to apologize for that. We've already wasted.
No, Johnny's family.
That just gives him a reason to come back later another week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's like the cousin that goes to the other family member house. You know, the door's always open.
Right.
Like,
right.
Auntie, what you cook, Auntie?
We all sleeping on the.
What y'all eating?
No doubt, man.
Thank you, Hunter.
Hold on. Y'all wrong about Moss.
Y'all all wrong about
hit
Moss.
Quarterback in college. Nah, look.
He can make all the throws.
I get it. Yeah. And that's fair. I'm just, and his head coach doesn't do him any favors.
Which is a genius, an offensive genius.
Right. So. But yeah, I don't know, man. He lost to some pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
Didn't look his best.
Yeah, but look,
including Michigan.
I would think what the debate wasn't about Miller Morse. We're talking about who would start if Underwood was to come to Michigan, Miller Morse or Underwood. Should I take Miller Morse? I never said I don't want him. Shit, he's experienced. Like Johnny said, he can make all the throws all over the field. Shit. Who are we to say?
And I wasn't even saying that I would start him over Underwood. I'm saying that there's a case to be made that he might not win the starting job depending on how they performed in camp.
Yeah.
Because there is something to say about having experience at a big time level at a Power 4 conference team compared to an incoming true freshman going on the road.
This is another problem. Do we trust anything that happens in camp after this year?
No. they got to rebuild so much trust with the fan base, man.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
The things we were hearing out of camp.
Johnny's about to host a rebellion out there and to break down the gates for spring ball this year.
Nah, they got to open it up, bro.
I want to see it, bro.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. I had a feeling, bro, before the season. I'm like, I want to know what's going on. I was saying it on my car lives. Like, bro, I want to know what's going on. Something ain't right.
Yeah. This guy was fired from ODU, man.
Yeah, we got bamboozled. We definitely. Yeah,
that is great.
We ordered the New York Yankee hat. When we got it, it just had the Y on it.
Okay, let me ask y'all a question though, for real. Like, I know I've defended Wink a lot on here. But let me get y'all's opinion. Like, look at it like this, okay? Let's say we had a serviceable quarterback. I don't want to say JJ, but let's say we had a Cade McNamara on the team this year, right? How much better does his defense look this season? How many times does his defense put us back into a game and we win?
With Cade?
I mean,
not this year's Cade.
Well, not this year's Cade, but 2021 Cade, or put Miller Moss on our team, or put a serviceable quarterback.
No,
better than what we got now.
We
probably beat Washington.
No, yeah.
Who else?
Illinois,
definitely Illinois.
We win this game. We win this
game. It's not even about the wins. I'm saying how would we look at Wink differently?
No, I agree.
If he had an offense that was complementary to what he's doing,
the defense is on the field a lot.
I'm just saying that would make wins. I need the wins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is I think if the offense wasn't so inept, we would not be tearing down Wink as much as we have been. We'd still be calling him out for the stupid stuff like putting Mason Graham on defensive end. But
when was the last time we saw that? Did he do it?
He's zero blitzes in the red zone.
We'd still be calling him out for that, but I don't think we'd be saying fire him.
I think, and no, listen, and plus he over there talking about tackling has not been an issue on this defense.
Bro, that don't help.
Yo, give me a sound.
That was a ridiculous statement.
I want his kids there, his fish there, his cat.
It didn't help him that.
What did he say? Hold on. What did he say about the tackling? His fish there, his cat, his turtle, his pet gerbil. I want them all dead.
But like Rick said, what do we want him to do? Throw his players under the bus? Like we want him to lose confidence of the players by talking in the media?
The tackling has to be better. That ain't saying.
Boy, I will say Kinetic be out here defending these people like Johnny, not you, Johnny.
I know because I keep hearing
Johnny's the prosecution. I'm the defense.
We talk about if the glove does not fit, you must quit.
That's man court out here for the coaching staff.
or at least give a more political answer. Just say, it's an area I felt we've been doing good, but we could be better at it.
When has Wink ever been political?
You can't say it's not a problem when it's been a problem.
Wink has never been that PR political type of coach with the media.
That Texas game hurt him a lot.
He said it hasn't been a problem
because he was getting outflanked in that Texas. It was bad, that Texas game. I will say that. He was overmatched in that Texas game.
Oh yeah, he completely got out coached.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, as a whole, this season, I think we look at Wink differently if he had an offense that could actually capitalize on what he does. Because I'm sitting there looking at it, and I've said this whole time, I don't hate his play calling. I hate some of the stuff that he runs, like formations, substitutions, personnel, whatever. But I like the positions that he tries to put us in. It's just the offense can never capitalize on when he does. When
better call Kinetic here.
No,
I mean, and we haven't been getting turnovers like that. This game we kind of turned it on. That was a hell of a second half.
It was the best.
What we had been seeing, like that was real nice what he did.
Hey, Don Brown would defend that damn scheme after. It was clear. Nobody want to hear that shit, Don.
The problem with Don Brown's scheme is it was simplistic and easy there was no disguising anything. That's not the case with Wink.
And you know why he would say? They say, "Do you think you blitzing too much?" He says, "I don't think I'm blitzing enough." And I'm like, "Yo, bro, what's up with Don Brown? Get him away." It worked. It was good for the first 2-3 years. It was good.
And I think part of the problem with Wink is we're coming from seeing Jesse Minter,
right?
And you didn't have these bonehead calls, blitzing a safety from 15 yards away,
right? Not even bringing them down in the box.
0-0 on the 10-yard line. when they're going in the red zone.
Right.
Touchdown. We all know, like, bro, is he 0? Yeah, touchdown. Wait, you know what I'm saying? So I think all that has built up. Plus, you got masterclass by Texas.
Right.
Jed Fish got in his bag on you too with some of the stuff he was doing. So I think that's just the difference. We had the best at the amoeba defense. That's what it's called.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we had the
that
best.
Is. Now you're right. Jesse Minter has mastered it. And Wink may be the architect, but Jesse has, taken it and
but look at what Ripstar just said in the chat. If we had Jesse Minter this year, but still the same offense, we're getting maybe one extra win.
I disagree.
We're not. If we're getting that,
that's hard to say
because Minter can play defense, can play great defense all day long. If we don't have an offense that can capitalize on it when we get turnovers and stops, it ain't gonna win the game.
Well, that's hard to say because we ain't turning it over like we did.
Right. That's what I was gonna
getting
say.
Sacks like we did.
Right.
And you're blitzing way more. The quarterback.
But I'm saying, even if we were getting sacks and getting stops and getting turnovers, we don't have an offense that can capitalize.
But if you're getting stops and getting sacks and getting turnovers, you're giving the offense more opportunities too.
For 3 and outs.
Wink would blitz, and we don't get.
They go 3 and out every time.
We don't get.
Come on, man. The point is,
no. The times we don't go 3 and out, we drive down to the red zone and then run orgy 3 times and then kick a field goal.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I'm saying with more opportunities, you get more chances to score, right?
Our third down, this is it right here.
It's just odds.
The odds defense is garbage most of the time. It's garbage. That's the big thing.
And it's been better, but our secondary. How many penalties on our secondary through the year? The first couple of weeks,
right? And that was not happening last year, right?
No, and it wasn't.
I'm taking up with Wink. I didn't get him this last. Hey, when you do your job, I'll be the first one to say, "Hey, thank you. Shut me up, please. Shut me up. Thank you."
Yeah.
I guess my point is that the defense is not gonna. No defense is gonna look great with an offense that we got.
I'll give you that, but I mean, a defense can still look great.
I feel you, Ripstar. Stupid.
A defense can. We saw the Ravens. We've seen plenty of teams have great defenses with a sorry offense.
And that offense was back in the day, garbage, right? What were they doing? What were the 2000 Ravens offense putting up?
Yeah, they had
horrible numbers.
It makes it hard, but
Yeah.
We'll
see. We just got a horrible offense, man. It's just been atrocious. And the sad part is they haven't even tried to cater to the offense. They just act like we got the dogs to run the offense they want to run, and that's where the problem lies. Instead of dumbing it down, we've been saying this for how many weeks? No, let's make it more. Listen, I'm just upset.
I'm upset.
Just
and I mean, this doesn't change the other things that we've talked about with Wink and his defense. I still think that and that it was a transition from the NFL to college. He's not playing with professional players. He's not playing with players that can grasp concepts and see things developing as quickly as they do in the NFL. And it took him some time as a coach to adjust to that, and he's starting to. That would have been a problem regardless whether our offense was good or not. I'm not saying he was perfect. I'm simply saying that I think we look at him in a different light if our offense wasn't as bad as it is.
That's true. He came in so cocky,
Yeah, absolutely.
He kind of made himself.
We're still gonna get smacked by Texas, no matter what that offense, how good it was. But I see you. And they saying you over here drinking luxury water, Johnny. What is that?
Yeah, that's true. That's Saratoga.
Hey.
Saratoga. Johnny out here.
The middle class black man's water.
Johnny out here drinking aristocratic water. That's what's up. Hey, don't be Johnny just gave Saratoga a free commercial, by the way.
That bottle costs more than the entire case of bottled water I get.
That shit raises your credit score by 100 points. You drinking that water.
It's up there already.
That's that Florida. That's that Florida mentality.
Jesus, man. My man out here drinking the water of the gods out here. Yeah. All right. Hey, look, we got to get out of here.
What you might say when you see a pinky up when you drink that, Johnny?
Yeah, right.
Hey, after the game, after the game, I'm like this.
Word. Johnny, we'll bring you back. We're gonna do this again, man. We appreciate you coming through. Tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
You know, I'm on YouTube, Johnny Olden Jr., car lives, pregame, postgame, call-in shows, you know, so you know, we keep it cooking shorts. If Ohio State posts something, I'm gonna put my flip on it. You know,
No
so
doubt.
you know, I gotta cook them when I can, but you know, I'm through the week, plenty of Michigan content, you know.
Of course. Kinetic, tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you, sir.
Twitter, Discord, Instagram, Kinetic 615, YouTube, same name everywhere, Kinetic 615.
Of course, my guy, the Maniac.
The Maniac. You already know, man. Just follow me on Instagram, and that'll lead you to everywhere else.
no doubt. Follow me everywhere at Maze Madman. For everyone here, it's been another great Eminem Monday with Kinetic. We gotta work that out. The MK show. Shout out to my guy Johnny Olden. Be sure to subscribe to his channel, Johnny Olden Jr., just like that. And until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my friends.